There is a quiet battle that every person faces, one that is never seen. It is the subtle collapse under the weight of invisible burdens, the shoulders that curve forward, not from physical load, but from the pressure of expectation. The gaze that falls to the floor, not in observation, but in retreat. This is not merely a posture of the body. It is the visible signature of a collapsing spirit. And centuries ago, in the dojos and hermitages of Japan, the masters understood this with a terrifying surgical precision. They discovered that to change the internal landscape, you must first master the external architecture. The way you hold your body is not a symptom of your mind. It is its blueprint. Our story begins not in a misty forest dojo, but in a glass and steel tower under the sterile glow of computer screens. Here we find Alex, a person caught in the silent warfare of modern existence. His days are a series of digital negotiations, a constant hum of anxiety, a feeling of being perpetually on the back foot. His world is one of mental abstraction, of strategies and emails and projections. Yet, if you were to see him in his chair, you would witness the physical truth of his condition. His spine is curved into the shape of a question mark. His breath is shallow, held captive in a sunken chest. His presence in a room is an apology. Alex believes his problem is one of strategy, of finding the right mental trick to finally feel confident and calm. He does not yet understand that his philosophy is written in the curve of his neck. Chapter 1. The Unseen Foundation. Miyamoto Musashi, perhaps the most renowned swordsman in history, wrote in his Dokudo, "Do not, under any circumstances, depend on a partial feeling." This is often interpreted as a warning against half-heartedness in combat, but it cuts deeper. A partial feeling is a disconnected one. It is a mind that races ahead while the body lags behind, a spirit that desires courage while the body broadcasts fear. This disconnect is a fatal flaw. The samurai understood that in the moment of truth, there is no time to think. Your being must be unified, total, and instantaneous. This unity begins with what they called Kamae. Kamae is often translated simply as stance or posture, but to see it as merely a physical ready position is to miss its profound depth. Kamae is the total preparation of the entire self. It is the physical manifestation of your intent, the crystallization of your spirit into a single, unshakable geometry. For Alex, this concept was entirely foreign. His Kamae was one of unconscious surrender. Each slouched posture was a silent declaration to his own nervous system. I am under threat. I am small. I withdraw. His mind, receiving these constant signals from his body, obediently manufactured the emotions of threat, smallness, and retreat. He was trapped in a loop, trying to think his way into confidence while his physical form whispered the opposite command. He was living a partial feeling. His mind dreamed of victory, but his body was already in full retreat. The transformation would not begin with a new thought. It would begin with a new structural reality. It would begin with the deliberate, painful, and absolutely non-negotiable practice of Seiza. Chapter 2. The Geometry of Stillness. Seiza, the formal kneeling posture, is not about comfort. It is a rigorous geometry of discipline. The spine is elongated, as if a silken thread is pulling the crown of the head toward the heavens. The shoulders fall back and down, opening the heart center. The hips rest on the heels, grounding the entire form. The hands rest calmly on the thighs. The gaze is soft, yet forward. To sit in true Seiza is to build a sacred architecture within yourself. It is an active meditation, a physical prayer. In the silence of this posture, you cannot hide. Every agitated thought, every ripple of anxiety manifests as a tremor in the body, a desire to flee from the stillness. The practice is to hold the form, to let the mind's storms rage while the body's structure remains immovable. In this crucible of stillness, a fundamental alchemy occurs. Alex's first attempts were a revelation of his own inner chaos. 30 seconds felt like an hour. His ankles screamed. His back muscles, accustomed to slouching, trembled in protest. His mind rebelled with a torrent of thoughts, excuses, and urgent distractions. This was not peaceful meditation. This was a quiet, grueling confrontation. He was not fighting an external opponent. He was facing the accumulated resistance of a lifetime of poor posture and scattered attention. But he committed to a non-negotiable ritual. 5 minutes each morning in the Seiza position, focusing only on the alignment of his spine and the slow, deep rhythm of his breath. He did not try to empty his mind. He simply tended to the temple of his body, and slowly the geometry began to engineer a new state of being. Chapter 3. Kokoro-gamae, the posture of the heart. As the weeks passed, the physical practice of Seiza began to leak into Alex's life. The 5 minutes of forced alignment created a subtle memory in his muscles. He would catch himself at his desk, notice the slump, and gently correct it. Walking to a meeting, he would feel the old urge to look down, and instead, he would lengthen his spine and lift his gaze. This was the emergence of Kokoro-gamae. If Kamae is the posture of the body, Kokoro-gamae is the posture of the heart and mind. It is your mental readiness, your attitude, your foundational spirit. The ancient masters knew these two were not separate. You cannot have a courageous Kokoro-gamae while inhabiting a cowardly Kamae. The body leads the spirit. By mastering the outer form, you are not expressing an inner strength. You are constructing it, piece by piece, from the ground up. Alex began to notice the shift in the most subtle of interactions. In a contentious discussion, instead of his chest caving in and his voice becoming thin, he felt the grounded strength of his posture. His breath remained deeper. The physiological cues of panic were subdued because his body was no longer broadcasting the signal of panic. He was not pretending to be confident. He was creating the physiological conditions of confidence, and his mind was following suit. This is the essence of the warrior's non-negotiable action. It is not a grand dramatic gesture. It is the microscopic discipline of how you inhabit your own skeleton. It is the understanding that your posture is your philosophy made visible. A bowed posture speaks of a philosophy of submission. A rooted, open posture speaks of a philosophy of readiness, acceptance, and calm strength. Chapter 4. The Living Stance. The ultimate test of Kamae is not in the dojo or the meditation room. It is in the unpredictable flow of life. For Alex, it came during a critical presentation. The old patterns beckoned. The shallow breath, the tightening throat, the desire to flee into his notes. But this time, he paused. He did not seek a motivational quote. He did not try to convince himself he was brave. He simply remembered the geometry. He planted his feet firmly on the ground, feeling the floor beneath him. He allowed his shoulders to drop, creating space in his chest. He took a single deep breath that originated not from his throat, but from the very base of his spine. He assumed his Kamae, not as a fighter, but as a person fully present and ready for the moment. His Kokoro-gamae, his mental readiness, flowed naturally from this physical foundation. The words came from a place of calm clarity. This is the silent power of the ancient teaching. Your posture is not something you have. It is something you do. It is a verb. It is the ongoing moment-to-moment practice of assembling your totality. The samurai lived with the understanding that death could come at any instant, and therefore, every instant had to be lived in complete, unified readiness. For us, the stakes are different, but the principle is timeless. The emails, the conflicts, the anxieties, the challenges, these are our modern duels. To face them with a scattered self, with a partial feeling, is to enter every battle already divided and weakened. The practice is the unification. It begins with the deliberate, often uncomfortable commitment to how you sit, how you stand, how you breathe. You are building your fortress from the outside in. So, let us end with a simple instruction, one that contains the seed of this entire philosophy. Do not worry about feeling confident. Do not struggle to manufacture calm. Attend instead to your physical architecture. In this next moment, wherever you are, feel the contact points of your body with the earth or the chair. Gently draw the crown of your head upward, as if lengthening the space between each vertebra. Allow your shoulders to release away from your ears. Take one breath that fills the space you have just created within yourself. This is not an exercise. This is the cultivation of your Kamae. And in this simple, profound action, you will find that your Kokoro-gamae, your readiness of spirit, has already begun to align itself. The outer form shapes the inner reality. This is the way of the warrior. This is the discipline of presence. Your posture is your philosophy. Now you must live it. In the story of Alex and in the ancient practice of the samurai, we find a profound and practical truth. You learn that your state of mind is not an accident. It is not something that simply happens to you. It is engineered. It is built upon the foundation of your physical being. You learn that the concept of Kamae is not a relic of the past, but a living principle. The way you hold your body is the direct, tangible expression of your inner world, and more importantly, it is the lever you can pull to change that inner world. By mastering the simple, non-negotiable discipline of your posture, through a practice like Seiza, or through mindful alignment in your daily life, you are not just improving your anatomy. You are constructing the physiology of calm and the architecture of confidence. You are taking the abstract goal of inner strength and giving it a physical form you can work with, starting now. This path is not about a single transformation, but about the daily, quiet return to your own structure. It is the ultimate personal system. I have a question for you to consider, and I would be honored to read your reflections in the comments below. As you move through your day, what is one moment where you can consciously implement your Kamae? Is it before you open your email, as you walk into a room, or perhaps in a moment of quiet reflection? Let me know. If this exploration of ancient wisdom resonated with you, and if you wish to continue this journey of mastering the self through disciplined practice, I welcome you to subscribe to this channel. More insights drawn from the timeless principles of the warrior's path await. Thank you, sincerely, for your time and attention today. Thank you for watching until the very end. Your commitment to seeking depth is what makes this pursuit meaningful.